What if I told you that you could become anybody that you want to become while still remaining yourself? Now, that may sound a little counterintuitive, but let me explain this. By the end of this video, you will have a 3-step action plan to becoming the person that you've always wanted to become, or the person that you just decided you wanted to become. And just like I did 2 years ago, going from 120 pounds soaking wet, scrawny, weird looking, just loser of a man. Other people can disagree, but that's the way I felt about myself at the time. To now living in a nice apartment, with a nice girl, 160 pounds, decent definition. I'm still working on it, but I'm getting there. I'll share the journey as I go because I'm super excited about it and pumped every time I go to the gym. There's so many nice people there, and just living the life that I really wanted. Like I'm not all the way there. I know I want more, and I'm always working towards it, trying to get to the next level, but I've got part of the way there, and I want to share that with you in this video, how to become your authentic self. So let's get into it. In the past, I always felt like I was trying to copy someone else. Like if I was watching Rocky, I'd want to punch someone's face and fucking get in a fight with somebody or get my face punched in. I always saw like an action hero movie and I wanted to jump off a mountain and tackle a raging bull or a T-Rex or whatever it may be. And I always felt like I was always trying to copy someone else, and it never felt authentic. I always felt like I was chasing someone else's dreams, someone else's way of being, someone else's masculinity. And I always had this in the back of my mind. Like, am I just doing this thing because someone else is doing it? And it really stuck with me at a young age. And it wasn't till recent years where I really started to think about this and really started to figure things out, ask people about the same situation that I was going through, seek the knowledge, and figure out for myself if it was true or if I was actually getting onto something. Long story short, I found out it was a little bit of both. I'll explain in this video. Today, we're talking about how to be your authentic self. A version of you that's true to your values, true to what you believe in, and true to who you want to be in the future. And what you want to build for yourself. A legacy, if you want. Or just a nice, simple life. Now, let me start off with saying, being your authentic self is the only thing that you'll ever be best at. It's a guarantee. You will always be the best at being yourself. So it's one of the most important things to pursue. Because if you can truly be yourself, you will live each day in harmony with yourself, you'll be proud of yourself, and you'll have a path that's easy to follow and easy to be successful on. So let's start off with the first thing you have to do to become and find your authentic self. And this starts off with what I did at a young age and what I initially thought as copying someone else, and I considered it, as the kids call it, cringy. I considered it cringy. I'd see someone doing something, I'm like, oh, I want to do that, and then I'd get into it, and I would just feel like a copycat. Well, it's the wrong mindset to have about it. This is the right mindset to have, and it's the first thing you should focus on. When you see someone doing something that you find is incredible, amazing, fascinating, it draws you in any way, think of it as being inspired. You're inspired of the idea of Rocky Balboa training each day, getting stronger in the gym, learning the techniques to take out Apollo Creed. So Rocky was inspired to become a boxer in a way, and then he followed that path and became the Italian stallion, frickin' Rocky Balboa, and a legacy was born out of that. So I know it's a movie, but but you get the idea. You get the idea. You want to look at it as when you see someone that you look up to that's done amazing things, you want to use that as inspiration to spark your journey on potentially doing the same thing. If you go through the journey and you find out that you don't like what you're going for, like if you see, say, we'll just stick with Rocky Balboa, or we could even go with Batman, that doesn't matter, but if you see Batman, he's training in Batman Begins, amazing movie. In Batman Begins, he's training, he basically gives up his whole identity of Bruce Wayne, and sorry, spoilers if anyone's seen this, don't listen to me, but it's an old movie, you should have seen it. He gives up everything, all the riches and everything, and gets thrown into jail, ends up getting thrown into jail, training with the ninjas and everything, and he ends up going from this rich, weak man that felt just fucking useless in Gotham, couldn't do shit, to giving up everything, to fighting, learning the skills, and then coming back to Gotham and starting to kick fucking ass. Now that is inspiration, and seeing someone else's journey, going onto it, taking your own path, and fucking owning shit. Because he saw the powers in the city that were overthrowing him, that were more powerful than him. He got the inspiration to fucking overcome that. That's another way of looking at inspiration. You can look at the people that are stronger than you and then take a path that basically gets you to a point where you have more leverage over them. So you can either follow someone that's righteous or look at someone that is not righteous and using power for evil, and then taking your path and getting to where you want to be so you can become the hero. You want to achieve the similar accolades and live that life that person is living, but a different life because it's your own. You're the only person that can be yourself. So that's where that ties in. Number 2, after you've gotten the inspiration and you start on your path, what you want to do is take moments of solitude. Now, there's many ways you can do this. You can take moments of solitude but in the form of each morning you can grab. I got. Where the heck did I put it? Well, anyway, jeez. I have a little diary, or a little journal, whatever. Diary sounds I don't give a fuck. I got a little diary. I got a big diary here. And you basically take your little one. I recommend not having a phone in the morning. This is the best way. Pro tip. Don't take your phone in the morning. Leave it at home. You can go for a walk and you write down every thought that comes into your head, into your journal. When you're walking with just yourself and your thoughts and nothing to distract you, thoughts will start coming up. You write them in here. Get yourself a nice pen, something that you enjoy writing with each day. This one's a nice Parker pen. You don't need anything crazy special, but the more special you get of a pen, the more you'll use it. So get a nice pen and start writing down your thoughts on a walk. Another way you can do that is you can just go for a hike. You go for a hike, you get exercise, and you don't need your journal. You can do the journal in the morning and then pair it with the hike. You can just go for a walk and just breathe in nature. Don't think about anything. Just appreciate nature and being alive. And then naturally, things will start coming into your head. You can take them on. You can try to remember them on the walk, or you can just let them sit and they'll always come back. No resistance. When you're in solitude, no resistance. You just let things come. You just be present. If you don't write it down at the time, you forget to write it down, it passes, it'll come back. The point of it is to just be present with yourself and allow your own ideas to come out, because that's the trap. When you see the inspiration and someone doing something that you want to do, being someone that you want to be, you want to emulate it entirely. Now, what you do to stop that's why I said in the past I felt like I was straight up copying everything, because I didn't give myself moments of solitude and to really think of what I wanted to do with the power that person has obtained. So you want to have that solitude so you can become like that person, but yourself. So at a distance, and once you do this enough, you'll see for yourself that you're not trying to be that person. You're just trying to get the inspiration from what he's achieved, what he's become, to create your own character in a similar way. And once you've done those two things, the fun part begins. And by fun, I mean the hardest part, but this is where you get, it's the hardest part, but this is where you get all the rewards of your labor. And all the progress comes in at this point. It's when you study that person to a point of reverse engineering. So you want to figure out how they got to where they are, and then reverse engineer from there to the start of the journey and try to piece that together, but in your own personal way. So using steps 1 and 2, getting the inspiration, then being alone with yourself, getting your own ideas, and then pairing it with the actions that they've done throughout the years to get to where they want to be. And that's what I mean by reverse engineering. If you can get the option of actually directly learning from a person that lives the life that you want, that's the quickest way to becoming like that person and essentially living life like that person. But if you've done steps 1 and 2 and you solidly work on that in alignment with working with that person that you want to live that life like, and there are many people you can learn from that say you're inspired by Batman. Like, you know, he lives in a nice place, has all these gadgets and stuff. There are many people that you can find online that you can learn from that live a similar life as Batman, live a similar life as Rocky. You can find them on the internet, and you can buy courses, you can save up some money, and you can learn from them directly. And that's the fastest way. That's the fastest way. Find someone that lives the life that you want to, and learn from them, and reverse engineer what they've done. You can even, if you don't have the money and you want a more cost-effective way to do it, you can just go on YouTube. You want to find the guys that share the backstories and the trials, tribulations. Someone that just speaks to you and you can understand their knowledge. And if you can use a piece of their information and it does change your life in some sort of way, then that's good. The fake gurus that I can think of are like, I don't want to put any names, but I'll give you examples, I guess. Guys that show off all the flashy stuff. It's like, yeah, this is like my car and blah 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 and blah blah blah. But they don't actively tell you how they've done it or give you any advice whatsoever. They just say, look at my car, I'm ripped, like, you know, all this stuff, and then they're like, oh, if you want this, you got to work hard. It's like, well, no shit. Like, if you know, I'd have that right now if that wasn't the case. Like, you know, it's pretty obvious, but when it comes to someone that you can learn from, you have to look for someone that you can look at the lessons, it resonates with you, you get some value, and you're like, oh man, like, I've learned something here. Maybe this guy's on to something. And I'm just trying to spread the knowledge that I learn. I'm learning from guys, and I think of it as a waste to not teach the lessons that I learn, because it's so easy and I enjoy it. I enjoy talking in front of the camera, and it's just like a little hobby of mine. And, you know, one day maybe I'll make some money off of YouTube, who knows? But I just enjoy it, and it's passing on the knowledge. It's like writing a book, except you're recording it. I'm terrible at writing, so this is the way I do it. Anyway, I hope you guys got some value from this. If you have any questions, put them in the DMs. Love you guys. Let's keep booming it. I'll see you in the next one.